Hey there, this is LaQuita with QuitaBugHandmaids.com. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Stampin' Up tutorial. So today I have a really pretty card to share with you featuring the Plentiful Plants stamp set as well as the coordinating Perfect Plants dies. So this stamp set is really fun. It's actually one of our distinctive stamps, which means the images have this photorealistic look to them when you stamp, kind of a 3D look, but really pretty images. And then I love all of the different sentiment options that you have. So really great stamp set. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's tutorial. So let me see. Oh, I'm also going to use one of the layering circle dies and one of the rectangle stitch dies. Normally I don't use such a variety of dies with a project, but this one just called for all of it. And the card is just so pretty. So let's go ahead and get some of our stamping out of the way. I'm just gonna bring in my Stamparatus foam mat. I like to use that when I am stamping with photopolymer stamps. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and bring in all of my ink pads. So I've got Soft Succulent, this is Starry Sky, and this is Orchid Oasis. So really interesting color combination here. This is actually let me separate these. This is actually I got these colors from my team color challenge. So I just kind of randomly select colors to create the color challenges, and I selected these three, and I really was not sure how these were gonna work together, but I really love it. Really interesting combination. So I'm gonna start with this large image here. And I am going to stamp this one in Starry Sky. So I'm just gonna ink this up and stamp it off to the left. I'm gonna get all three images on here, and you can see how it looks. Not like a solid image. There's nothing wrong with your stamp. That's actually how our distinctive stamps stamp. They're supposed to have that look to them. So I really like the look of the distinctive stamps. I know at first, if you're not used to it, it might be bothersome because you think, okay, this is not stamping completely, but that's how it's supposed to look to give that 3D feel. I really like it. And then we'll put this little image there. I have no idea what that is, but I like it. So I stamped that in the Soft Succulent. And then I love this image. I wish I knew something about flowers so that I could tell you what this is, what any of it is, but I don't. So this is Orchid Oasis for this image. This is my favorite image in the stamp set. I don't know what it is about that. I just think it's so pretty. Okay. And then we are going to do a little bit more stamping just for the sentiment, but I'm gonna die cut our little rectangle piece first, and then we'll come back and stamp. But for now, this is it. Okay, so I've got my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Got my plates here, so let's go ahead and start doing this die cutting. So plate number 1. And for these images, you know what, let me do this. Plate number 1, plate number 2, and then get my Perfect Plants dies out. Okay, so I need this little die. Oh, I do need the pot. I also need the hanging berry looking thing. And then this one that looks like breadsticks. The breadstick plant. Okay, so let's get these on, and I am going to bring in a little bit of washi tape. I have so much old Stampin' Up washi tape, so it comes in handy when you need to position your dies. Where is the beginning of this washi? There it is. Found it. Okay, so I'm just going to get these positioned down and ready to go so that I can run this through my machine here. Okay, got that all positioned. So now let's see if I can get all three to run through. I should be able to, yes. Oh yeah. Okay, got those. I'll pop those all out in a minute. And then let me get, I have a piece of crumb cake here. This is for my pots. So let me get my pot in here. And then a piece of basic white cardstock for my stitched rectangle die. And another cutting plate on top, and we will run this through. Okay, so we got all of those pieces. Ah, no, I forgot. I have one more thing to cut. I need to cut this piece of vellum with this circle from the Layering Circle dies, and then my die cutting is complete. Okay, so let me bring in my stitched rectangle. And for my sentiment, I'm stamping this one. It says a little note with the biggest thanks, but I only want biggest thanks. So I'm gonna flip it over, bring back in some of that washi, and I'm gonna cover up the words just above biggest thanks because I don't want those. Cover those up. Bring back my soft succulent. I'm just flipping my stamp upside down so that I can ink up biggest thanks. That should be good. Going to peel off my washi tape. Set that out of my way. And I'm gonna stamp this towards the bottom of this die cut rectangle. There we go. That actually stamped perfectly in the center, but biggest thanks. Okay, so now we're ready to start putting this card together. So for my card base, I've got soft succulent cardstock. This is cut 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and I've scored it at 5 1/2 inches. So that just gives you a nice vertical folding card like that. Then I have got, a piece of Orchid Oasis cardstock. This is cut 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And then I've got a piece of the Lovely Linen Designer Series paper. This is cut 3 1/2 inches by 4 3/4 inches. So I'm just going to add that on top. And I will use my Stampin' Seal adhesive. There we go. Center that up and add it on. So pretty. And then I'll go ahead and add this to my card front. I mean, look how pretty that Orchid Oasis looks with soft succulent. Who would have thought? That's what I love about color challenges. Okay, so we've got that. Then what I'm going to do is add my sentiment, and I want it to go all the way to the edge of the card front. So I'm gonna put it right there. Just put a little bit of adhesive behind it. And I'm gonna pop it right here. Biggest thanks. Okay, that looks good. Actually, I shouldn't have put adhesive all the way to the edge. Okay, there we go. Now let's put this, I'm gonna bring in my liquid glue. Let's put our plant together. So I think I wanna add my little breadstick plant first. I'm gonna put that on like that. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of liquid glue behind this one. Come on, liquid glue. There we go. Okay. Okay, just like that. Then I'll put a little bit of liquid glue there. I hope that's not too high. I don't think it is. I'm gonna put my pot on. Well, that was a little bit high. okay? And then I'll just put this little plant on. Oh no, that actually is okay. Okay, so then I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put a couple of dimensionals on the bottom here of my pot, like so. Take my backings off. Then I have got this piece of vellum, and the reason I brought this vellum in, it's not, you don't have to do the vellum, but I wanted to just kind of mute the pattern just a little bit behind the plant so that the plant popped a bit more. Now that's just my personal preference. You don't have to do this. Okay, so let me decide here. I'm gonna put my vellum and my plant. So I think I'm going to put this here. So I'm just pressing down my plant, and then let me add a little bit of Stampin' Seal, a little bit behind my plant. It'll be hidden, and then I'll just pop this down right there. And then I took this part originally, but I think I have too much glue behind it for it to work this time. Well, I can kind of curl it a little bit. I just kind of curled a little breadstick plant. Just kind of curled that, gave that a gentle little curl so it lifted up a little bit. So you can kind of see how it's lifting. I just thought that looked kind of cute to have it lifting. And then I am just gonna finish up with one single rhinestone jewel right there on the breadstick plant. And there you have it, you guys. That is the card. Isn't it so pretty? Biggest thanks. I really love how this card turned out. I love these colors together. I would love for you to try it. So Orchid Oasis, Soft Succulent, and then Starry Sky. Really, really nice, really fun combination. And then of course, you know, I had to do an envelope, so I just stamped my envelope to match, and then I added some more of that lovely linen designer series paper. And there you have the finished card. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed today's tutorial. Don't forget, you can find all of the measurements and supplies for today's project linked and listed down below in the video description and over on today's coordinating blog post, which is linked down below in the video description. So thank you again, and stay tuned, you guys. I'll be back very soon with another tutorial. Bye now.